So we're going to get right into the meat of this. This is the 10-step design process. This is the core of what we're going to be teaching. You'll use this process over and over and over again. It's a great process to know. You might find that it appears on pop quizzes. You might find it appears on pop quizzes. And it might be something that if you wrote on a card and you put in your wallet and kept with you, you might be allowed to use on a pop quiz. Just saying. It might be on many pop quizzes, but it might not. Okay, so we start with these first beginning steps. Number one, we want to identify the needs and really understand the problem. In our last class, I gave you a design challenge. So this is the first step, identifying the needs. What is the problem we're really trying to solve? And if we can get underneath that, we can design something in a much more impactful way. So let's talk about this interesting example here. I had a teacher as an undergraduate who designed a toothbrush. Now, I'll show you a picture. This is Napoleon's toothbrush. Napoleon Bonaparte used this toothbrush long time ago. If you bought a toothbrush in the 60s or something, you'd buy a toothbrush that looked like this. Does that look familiar to people? Yes, okay. He designed a toothbrush that looked like this. That's his design, the Reach toothbrush. Who's heard of the Reach toothbrush? Okay. And there are a lot of different versions that they wound up making over time. But that's the early version of the toothbrush. People brush longer and more thoroughly based on the design of the toothbrush alone, with no instructions. Here's what happened. If you have a toothbrush and it's a flat-handled toothbrush, like the one we showed you before here, like that, you hold it, you start brushing your teeth like this. And you see people can do this they can do this all day. They can watch a sitcom with doing this to their front teeth. No problem. Very comfortable. But if they need to brush other parts of their mouth, and they do this. They take this. I'm going to represent the bristles with my thumb and hold the handle like this. They brush their teeth like this, and then they get their rear molars like this on this side, and they want to get the upper rear molars on their subdominant hand side, which means they do this. Right? I'm righty, so I do this. So everyone, if you're righty, put your right hand up. If you're lefty, put your left hand up. Take your hand, make a fist like that with your thumb out, curve your wrist over, and bring it across like that. Now hold this. Is that comfortable? This is not a comfortable position for your arm to be in, right? Okay. So as a result, people do this. And if you watch them do it, they do this, and they go, they get bored, and they stop brushing. That's not good. So this teacher, this professor I had, said, to understand this, he did some studies. He had people stain their teeth red. And then, with no mirror, he said, brush your teeth. And people would brush it. And then he'd look inside their mouth and see the red was all off the front and all stuck in that part in the back. Well, he said, that's no good. So he designed this thing. In fact, there's a ton of innovations around this. Different handle. You see this side? Your thumb sits in that groove really easily. In fact, you'll turn that toothbrush 90 degrees, and your thumb will rest right there. You do it automatically. You'll do it automatically like this. And this is thin over here and at an angle. So it doesn't pull your cheek out like this. That's not very comfortable, right? Okay, so he did that. The head was shaped differently. Instead of being a square head, it's now tapered. The bristles are shaped differently. So here's the question. What was the underlying problem he was trying to solve? Kirsten.
The fact that people weren't able to use their back teeth comfortably.
That is a problem he was trying to solve, but it wasn't the underlying problem he was trying to solve.
The fact that people didn't want to brush their teeth.
The fact that people didn't want to brush their teeth. That's a problem that he was helping with, but that wasn't the underlying problem. David.
People with bad teeth?
People have bad teeth? People with bad teeth? not the underlying problem. Kosi?
The design of the toothbrush hasn't changed in a while.
The design of the toothbrush hadn't changed in a while, and we're getting closer now to the underlying problem, because we saw that Napoleon had a toothbrush very similar to the toothbrushes you could buy in the 60s. A small difference, though. His was, they said silver-plated, I think. Anyone here own a silver-plated toothbrush? Okay. Yes, Dennis. The functionality of the toothbrush. He definitely wanted to change the functionality of the toothbrush, but it wasn't the underlying thing. Louis?
Was it to simply build a better toothbrush?
It was about building a better toothbrush, but that's not the underlying reason. Sheeny?
An uncomfortable toothbrush was leading to poor brushing habits?
Yes, but we're not getting to the underlying reason what made him do this. Emily?
Was it low toothbrush sales?
Well, interesting. It wasn't. We're getting very close now. It wasn't low toothbrush sales per se, but by doing that, he did make somebody happy by increasing the number of toothbrush sales.
Do you have loads of cavities back here?
Oh, cavities. No, we're getting further away. Well, cavities is cooler. Sales is warmer. Patrick?
The ability to increase the price on the toothbrushes that are new?
Increasing the price of toothbrushes that are new. That's interesting. Kind of. It's actually, they would have been happy if the toothbrushes were the same price.
I mean, but you're like trying to get people to believe that it's worth what you're paying for.
Yes. For what though? For that particular toothbrush? Yes. It's a little bit. It's a shade of meaning difference, but I think you're close.
To design the best toothbrush?
Well, he definitely wanted to design the best toothbrush, and he did at the time. But we're now getting colder. Kosi? Oh, to make money. Yes. To make money. Absolutely. For whom? For who? For himself. No, he's a designer. Designers don't make much money, it turns out. Some do. Some designers make money. Not a whole bunch of designers make money. And they paid him a fee to do this work. They don't get residuals. Like if you make a movie and you're a famous movie star, you get residuals. Designers don't get residuals. They should, definitely. Ben? Stakeholders. Yes, stakeholders kind of, yes, that's kind of close. It's a little bit too far back. But if you can tell me which stakeholders. Which company?
Did he just not like brushing his teeth?
I don't think he cared about brushing his teeth. He was hired by a company who said, "Hey, John, we make blank. We want you to make something that's going to sell a lot of blank. Can you fill in the blank?"
Toothpaste?
Not toothpaste. That's a great idea. It's not toothpaste.
So, like,
Emily.
is it nylon, like the bristles?
It is nylon. It is the bristles. Nylon is made by whom? DuPont. The nylon bristles started coming out in, I think, 1936. And DuPont loves to sell nylon. And they said, "Hey, John, we want to sell a lot of nylon. Can you do something that's going to help sell a lot of nylon?" And they asked him to do this. So what he did is he looked around the world. And he said, "What in the world is made of nylon?" It's a lot of research just to figure out what's made of nylon. What hasn't been redesigned in a long time that's made of nylon that I could redesign? Hey, what hasn't been redesigned in a long time that's sold all over the world, made of nylon, has existing manufacturing capabilities, so it's really easy to make a small modification that will sell a ton of nylon? Answer, toothbrush. So he made a toothbrush and he improved the design, and they made tremendous number of changes to the toothbrush in the first design he made, and they kept releasing them slowly over time. So people get used to it, buy more toothbrushes, and buy more nylon. Cool, right? So understand the underlying reason. If you said, if someone said to you, "I want to sell a lot of nylon," it's hard to figure out what to do to sell a lot of nylon. And that was his approach.